I'm Nancy Cavey, National ERISA and Individual Disability Attorney. Welcome to Winning Isn't Easy. Before we get started, I have to give you a legal disclaimer by saying that this podcast is not legal advice. The Florida Bar Association tells me that I have to say that, so I've said it. But as you know, nothing is going to prevent me from giving you an easy to understand overview of the disability insurance world, the games that carriers play, and what you need to do to get the disability insurance benefits you deserve. So off we go. Now, disability insurance companies are more than happy to collect your gold, and they have their own golden rule. It's not one that we've been commonly taught. They'll collect your gold, and when you apply for your disability benefits, they may rule that you are not due your benefits, or they may rule that we're done paying your benefits and terminate those benefits. As I've been talking about in the last 3 episodes, one of the most common tools a disability insurance carrier will use at all stages of a disability claim is the field interview. Now, in my last episode, I talked about mistakes number 13 through 18, restrictions and limitations, pushing and pulling. Mistake number 14, restrictions and limitations, concentration. Mistake number 15, restrictions and limitations, shopping. Mistake number 16, restrictions and limitations, driving. Mistake number 17, restrictions and limitations, computer skills. And mistake number 18, restrictions and limitations, hygiene. Now, we are going to talk about the last 6 questions that are commonly asked in a field interview. Before we get started, let's take a quick break, so stay tuned.
Have you been robbed of your peace of mind from your disability insurance carrier? You owe it to yourself to get a copy of Robbed of Your Peace of Mind, which provides you with everything you need to know about the long-term disability claim process. Request your free copy of the book at caveylaw.com today.
Welcome back to Winning Isn't Easy. You ready? All right, mistake number 19, restrictions and limitations, your pain level. Look, if your physical condition causes pain that interferes with your ability to work, your disability carrier is going to be asking questions about your pain. These questions can include, what is your current level of pain on a scale of 1 to 10? 1 being the least, 10 being you're practically, in the emergency room, ready to undergo surgery. Number 2, does your pain level vary? Number 3, do you have good days and bad days? How often? Number 4, where do you experience pain? Now, there are some doctors who will have you complete a pain level scale, a diagram at every visit using that scale of 1 to 10. If you are going to fill out those forms, you need to do them accurately and not exaggerate. Now, the problem, I will be quite frank with you, is that your pain level number 5 might be my pain level number 2. So pain is not uniform. Every person experiences pain uniquely. And disability carriers don't understand that. And they will take that number scale and they will try to minimize your pain. Or alternatively, they'll say, you're exaggerating. Your pain level is not consistent with your examination findings. It's important, if you're asked questions about pain, that you actually get your doctor's records and review them, particularly if you are filling out forms for your doctor and are asked to fill out a pain scale diagram, because you want to be consistent. And of course, we also want to talk about ranges. That's another reason why I hate these questions, is because your pain level probably varies. It probably varies depending on your activity level. It may vary based on the weather. It may vary based on the effectiveness of your medication. And I'm sure you have good days and bad days. So we want to talk about ranges, not absolutes. Mistake number 20, restrictions and limitations, your daily activity. Now, I'm sure that when you applied for your disability insurance benefits, you never thought you would have to explain what you do inside the house and outside the house. And you may be scratching your head saying, well, what does that have to do, again, with my inability to do my own occupation or any occupation? Again, it's all about creating, either documenting or creating inconsistencies. They're going to use your responses to potentially put you under surveillance to see if you're telling the truth. And by the way, their version of the truth doesn't always match up with reality, but I sure hope that your version of what you put in the activity of daily living form matches up with the surveillance. Now, in regard to your inside activities, you're going to be asked, do you cook, clean, use the microwave, launder, dust, other household activities? I'm sure that you have difficulties doing these activities because of your pain, limitation of motion, or other problems associated with your condition. You may have to break up these tasks. You may have to have someone help you. You may no longer cook meals. You may have to rely on the microwave. Now, part of the problem with these questions is, do you cook? Well, as I tell my clients, I think that's a very open-ended question. Are you cooking for Thanksgiving for a family of 30, or are you putting something in the microwave? Are you cleaning the Queen's Castle, or are you just using a cloth to wipe down the counter in your kitchen? Are you doing the laundry for the Bucks football team, or are you just laundering a few pieces of clothing? So again, you can see that these are open-ended questions that can result in traps for you. So you've got to distill these questions down to give precise answers. And of course, we've got ranges of activities, good days and bad days. Now, the bigger trap is going to be questions about activities outside of your home. Do you take out the garbage? Do you garden? Do you weed? Do you mow the lawn? Now, what is gardening? I know that sounds strange, but in one case, the person said, well, no, I don't garden, but they had surveillance of this person out in their yard over the course of a couple of days, basically building a fountain. Now, that was stupid, quite frankly, but the carrier conflated that with gardening, with working in the yard, and basically went back to the doctor and said, I want you to look at this surveillance film. I want you to tell me whether or not this person can work. And of course, the doctor was not impressed and said, of course, the person could work, not understanding that this particular policy holder was breaking it up over the course of the day and would go in at the end of an hour or two, take their pain medication, put the heating pad on their back, and paid for it because their wife wanted them to build this fountain. So again, they're looking for inconsistencies. Can you do these kinds of things? Well, I hope that if you are doing them, your doctor knows about it, you're taking breaks. But quite frankly, I would prefer that you not do things like gardening or weeding or mowing the lawn. I don't necessarily have a problem with you taking out a garbage can, so long as it's on wheels. But the other kind of activity, I think, is just asking for a claims denial. Mistake number 21, restrictions, limitations, recreation, hobbies, and social activities. Now, I don't know why, but carriers view recreational activities, hobbies, and social activities as the equivalent of working. They think if you can go on vacation, if you have a social life, if you can maintain a hobby, you can work. Now, I know that's not true. You may enjoy going out to take a walk, or you might walk your dog, or you actually might go out and golf. Depending on the nature of your medical condition, that might be okay on a limited basis. Now, I assure you that you're going to be asked questions about whether you went on vacation, where you went, how often you went, and that can be a problem because I quite frankly don't like people to post, as I've said before, pictures on the internet of what it is they've done, because again, that's curated reality. But if you are going on some sort of a vacation or a family event, I think that you would consider documenting, did the location of your travel change because of your disability? If you flew, did you have to get up, move around? Did you have to have a wheelchair at the airport? When you went to Disney, were you using a wheelchair? Did you just stay an hour or two and you went back to the hotel? If you went on a cruise, did you not do all the island excursions? Or did you spend all the time in your cabin? So those are the kinds of things that you need to, again, think about to be able to explain why you did what you did, how you did what you did, how you may have paid the price for what you did, because you can be assured that the disability carrier is going to take whatever you're doing and run with it. Am I saying don't do it? No, I'm saying go ahead and do it, so long as you are taking the necessary precautions to protect yourself by documenting in your activity of daily living form what you did, the problems you had, the price that you paid, and that you also let your doctor know that, because you don't want your doctor to be surprised to find out that you went to Cancun on a vacation and have them draw the wrong conclusion. Okay? All right, let's take a quick break before we go over the last 3 mistakes that you can make in your activity of daily living form.